Welcome, everyone. It's been my pleasure to be the president of the board for the last 2 years, and I've been on the YOU board now for 6 years. I was thinking this morning, and part of my 6 years back in 2008, if I do my math right, I do it wrong. We established the Steve Cordes Community Star Award. Steve had nothing to do with that. Honestly, he didn't. It was a board decision to recognize Steve, and at the same time to recognize an organization or individual in the community who had really provided exceptional service to the youth in London and area. Normally, each year we announce the winner at the annual celebration. But we decided last year to switch it to this venue because this really is the community of London. And so this year, the board has unanimously, and I would say unanimously, it was one of the quickest decisions I think the board has ever made, selected Rick and Megan Gleed as the Community Star Awards for 2015. I'll talk a little bit about Rick and Megan and why we came to that decision, and Steve will talk about part of it as well, which I was a part of last year. Rick and Megan were quite involved in the selection of the Cornerstone building, which now houses 20-some youth, as well as the cafe, the kitchen, the YAC, the education center. It's really become the hub for the organization. It was quite a building when we acquired it, and Rick didn't exit when we acquired the building. He stayed in there as we did the development. They've been the presenting sponsor for 8 years at the breakfast, and they are advocates behind the scenes of the organization as well. So if you go into Rick and Megan's office, you'll see YOU posters and certificates. If you're so lucky to have lunch with them, you may be eating YOU catered food, and they will be and have always made some very heartfelt comments at the breakfast, and this morning will be no exceptions. So on behalf of the board, Rick and Megan, I want to recognize you for the service that you provided to the youth, and hope that continues for years to come.
Morning, everybody. I can tell you a tiny story. Those of you that know me know that I can't be at a podium without telling a tiny story or two, and so this one will just be one. And it actually starts with WestJet. Those of you that are in the marketing world may remember something WestJet did last Christmas, so December of 2013, where they set up kiosks in a couple airports they fly out of, one being Hamilton, another one being Calgary, I think it was. And what they said to their customers, go to the kiosk, tell the kiosk what your Christmas wish is. And who knows, maybe it'll come true. And what the customers didn't know is that WestJet did make their wishes come true. So people that wished for a pair of socks, they got a pair of socks. People that wished for a 50-inch flat screen TV, they got a 50-inch flat screen TV. And these came off the luggage racks when they landed in their destination, wherever that was, instead of their luggage. And sure, for the people that got socks, that was a big thrill. Well, I got an email around that time, or a call, I think from Megan, saying, you know what, I don't know if you've seen this WestJet thing, we'll send you a link to it. We want to do something like that for YOU. So if you had a team of a group of youth that you're celebrating the holidays over, we would like to share that idea with them. And our management team had just been planning its first ever Christmas party for the tenants that live in the Cornerstone, which is 30 residents. So for 30 people, the management team was going to host in the cafe a special Christmas dinner for those folks and help build community for some folks that sometimes lead some very isolated lives, or can lead some very isolated lives. So we said, well, it's a group of 30, so if you're up to it, absolutely. They said, sure. What we want you to do is ask every single person what their dream is for Christmas. Don't put any parameters on it. And we said, well, what's the limit? What do you want to spend here? What are you willing to spend? Don't worry about that. Find out what their dreams are. We want to make sure that every person in that part of your community gets a gift that's picked for them and given to them as a gift over the holidays, because it's something that most of us in the room would enjoy as a matter of course, but of course we all know that not everybody gets to. So that's what they did. So on about 3 days' notice, the first time, we pulled together a list. We continued to plan the party. What Rick and Megan did is they went to the Columbia store and they picked up a Columbia jacket for somebody who for 4 years had not owned a winter coat. They donated one of their own snowboards and a boulder pass for somebody who dreamed of having a snowboard. Somebody who didn't have pots and pans for their apartment got pots and pans for their apartment. I think an interesting thing about human nature being what it is, we were worried about, presenting them with too many extravagant gifts. What we found out was that of the 30 people that live in the building, 4 of them couldn't come up with a wish. 4 of them couldn't come up with a dream of something that they wanted. These folks, for the most part, are living in a fairly impoverished lifestyle. They're either on Ontario Works or they're working in a job or a couple of part-time jobs, but they're not well-to-do individuals. That's why they're in the building. And 4 of them couldn't come up with a wish. We pushed and prodded. Everybody got a wish. At that point, Rick and Megan were known as anonymous donors. And when they were selected for this award, I said, you know what, one thing I'm going to do, if you're okay with it, is I'm going to not call you the anonymous donor anymore. We're going to call you Rick and Megan Gleed, because to me, that epitomizes why they should win this award. They looked at their community. They looked at the enjoyment that they can enjoy with their family and their friends, and most of us do. And they looked at how do we extend that very normal existence that most of us enjoy. How do we extend that to people that aren't going to enjoy that? So Rick and Megan dressed up as Santa Claus. Their daughter was along as well. So we had Santa Claus and Mrs. Claus and an elf. They gave out gifts. We had a wonderful time, and community was built that night. And you'll see some pictures of that at some point during the show today. So with that tiny story, I'm going to call Rick and Megan up and present them with the award. For our very, very special friends of YOU, and these folks qualify absolutely for that, what they're getting with this plaque is a piece of the original tin ceiling from the Cornerstone. So that is 140 years old, and we saved a few pieces of it, and it's our honor to present that to you folks.
Thank you very much to the Board of Directors and YOU. This is really an honor. If anything, we are simply pleased to be part of the extended YOU family. At the first breakfast we attended in 2006, we were overwhelmed by the young people who were working so hard to overcome their obstacles and create a fulfilled life for themselves. It really didn't seem like a far stretch to support a community that invested in the success of young people. Our goals, as the goals and objectives of YOU grew, so did our commitment. As much as we believe in the young people of YOU, we believe in the leadership, the governance, and the past and present board of directors. It takes a strong and dedicated board to make bold decisions and execute those decisions as witnessed in the success of the Cornerstone and the objectives of the Young Mums Initiative.
Young people are amazing, and the longer we are involved with YOU and we meet and interact with the youth at the Cornerstone and follow the paths of many of the youth, we couldn't be prouder to support YOU. Our ongoing support is inspired by our desire to let the youth know that we are behind them, that there is an entire community behind them, even if sometimes they may feel that they are on their own.